This is Rebecca with the Cat and Rebecca Show, Keep It Real Estate, and this morning we're with Jennifer Underwood from Corner Escrow, and we wanted to talk about escrow a bit. If I have a buyer or a seller and I have a contract, it's typically the listing agent will send over the executed contract over to Jennifer, and then we want to know what Jennifer's role is in this process.
So once there's an agreed upon contract, and then we open escrow. Escrow is a neutral party, a neutral third party in a real estate transaction. We are not there to negotiate. We don't take sides. We are the neutral party in the transaction. And that's really our role, is to just kind of see that parties agree in writing and whatever the terms are, and to see it through to the end.
I always usually explain to people as well that you're the holder of the funds, so that way if there's any disputes, you hold on to everything until everybody's agreed, but that if there is a dispute, each party or buyer or seller needs to go back to their agent, and the agents need to work that out, correct?
That's correct, and we are held in escrow. We can't move or do anything until parties have agreed or negotiated to their compromise of whatever those terms may be.
So you can answer questions as far as maybe how the escrow instructions are written and so forth, but you're not there to advise them or negotiate.
That's correct. We would always refer them back to their agents, or even make their agents known or aware if the seller or buyer does call us with a concern. We refer back to the agents, let them know what's going on, so that you as the agent can step in to help negotiate what needs to be done.
So she can answer certain questions, but know that there's no negotiation there. And I guess the other bigger question is too, because we always have a close of escrow, and hopefully we always close on time. And then what you do is you make sure that it's all fair by making sure taxes, insurance, escrow, all that is prorated to that close date.
Yes, so the seller is responsible for all taxes, home insurance, mortgage payments, and everything up to the date of the close of escrow. And so that's when prorations are done to that date. And then the buyer picks up from the day following escrow for their responsibility in all taxes, insurance, mortgage, and
yeah, and I guess there's always sometimes a little bit of question either from the buyer or the seller on the proration, the taxes, because the way they're paid, sometimes they're paid in advance, so the seller could get a credit and the buyer would be paying the seller back. So that, but that is all based on the close of escrow, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
So if somebody has questions on those fees that they see on the sheet that comes from escrow, those are also questions you could answer.
Absolutely. We're always happy to take phone calls. I always want people to be informed consumers, and I always want them to understand the numbers that they're looking at. So I'll always take the time to go over that. Even if there's been times I've had to explain it 5 or 6 times, especially taxes, prorations, impound accounts, because I want people to have a working understanding of what those are. I don't want them to just say, okay, after I've explained, and hang up the phone and say, I have no idea what she just said to me.
Yeah.
So I'd rather them ask again. I'd rather try to delve in and either simplify what we're saying or see what they're not understanding, because it's a big learning curve, especially first-time home buyers.
Absolutely.
And so I'm always happy to have a conversation, because everyone should be an informed consumer and understand before they jump into owning a home and having a mortgage of what all of those fees are and what that means to them going forward month to month as a homeowner.
So what we're going to do is do separate segments, one for a buyer, one for a seller, and have Jennifer explain those. So at the moment, this is where we'll cut off and direct you to those links so that you can further get the information if you need it. But that's why we also have Jennifer here, because we do want to keep you informed. Because again, I think we're all on the same page. The more you know, the easier it is, because you understand what's going through in the process.